URC, round number 16, folks. Important match, must-watch viewing for me here in NZ. A bit delayed, but the Lions up against Connacht. I say must-watch because partly I'm rooting for both these teams, the Lions and Connacht. These are both like the kind of forgotten sons at sometimes of the four franchises from their respective countries. Like, it's all Leinster, Munster, and Ulster stuff, probably in that order, in terms of the coverage for the Irish teams, with Connacht bringing up the rear. And likewise with the Lions. Like, despite the fact they're playing sexy, like fun attacking rugby, it's more about the Bulls and the Stormers. And maybe the Sharks, well, the Sharks have been a bit of a disappointment one. But, yeah, the Lions, they just seem like the kind of fourth side. But, geez, they're playing good. And it was so important in terms of their playoff aspirations for both sides. The Lions in the playoffs, but with a couple of tough fixtures to finish the season, needed to get points on the board to give themselves the best chance of staying in. And Connacht needed a win to get themselves into that top 8. It's the Lions who get it done. 33 points to 21. They had a 28-0 lead, the Lions. I feel like Connacht missed a bunch of chances, but that is partly down to some cracking defending from the Lions. But we'll go through the key events and stats. As I said, a bit delayed. Apologies for that. And you guys can let us know your thoughts. The Lions struck early. Like scrum, phase play, and then Kotza, the big prop, gets himself into some space. Quick ball to the right. They're so good at that, the Lions. Like, if there is a ruck, like if they can't get an offload away, they want really fast ball, and they get it out right to David's first try on the board. Chris Smith with the conversion, 7 points to 0. The intensity of the game remains high for like the next 15 minutes or so. The guys are really sucking in the big ones in terms of heavy breathing, altitude, and high intensity match, but there are a few handling errors. No one's really able to get a genuine scoring try chance until the fun fake try. It's a scrum from a Connacht knock on in the Lions half, but geez, they're good from first phase ball. Big initial carry from Richard Creel, well over the advantage. I think second carry is into Labakanye, and then they get it left to Van Fake, who gets the line break, and he's got the gas to finish it off. 14 points to 0. It is looking happy days for the Lions. Then Connacht have what I think is going to be, like on review, a pretty tough period because they had chances. The Lions defense coach will be happy looking back at this. He might not be happy with the final kind of 10 minutes or so, but like 24 minutes, the Lions have got a soft penalty conceded offside. Connacht go attacking line up. They really need to score. They go 14 phases, knock it on just before the line. 5 minutes later, they got another chance. It's a scrum in the Lions half, 15 plus phases. The Lions win a turnover. And then 36 minutes, the Connacht maul goes a metre out from the line. It's stopped. So it's multiple missed chances from Connacht. Cracking defending from the Lions. Score remains 14 points to zip. And then brutally if you're Connacht, but beautifully if you're a Lions fan, next chance, the Lions go straight down the other end. And after all that Connacht hard work coming away with nothing, the Lions go one shot, one score. Mahasha gets another try. Some great offloads in the build-up to that one. And, yeah, from the corner, Chris Smith kicks the conversion. So 21 points to 0. Lions are looking real good value. They are chasing the bonus point in the second half. It doesn't take them too long to get it because Cronje gets it just after the start of the second half. Again, it's the offload and the contact. Frankie Horn, I think that was, for that one to Cronje on the left wing. Bonus point up with 28-0. 28-0. Now, the try scoring does die down, obviously, a bit for the Lions here. And if you're looking at kind of who won which half, Connacht do all right in the second half. But you feel like it's a little bit too little too late. We did have a long TMO stoppage for a Kotza upright tackle, which eventually gets yellow carded. I would have liked them to kind of speed that one up. It wasn't the most egregious upright tackle I've ever seen, to be honest, but it's yellow carded. And 15v14, absolutely Connacht needed to score. This maybe was the break in the Lions' defense that they got. With the man advantage, Matthew Devine, he's able to dive over after a bunch of phases from Connacht. So it's well worked to finally finish it off. 28-7. But again, if you're Connacht, you probably needed more than just the one try during that yellow card period. And that is all they get. No more points in the yellow card. Lions come back to 15. Kewan Horn kicks a nice 50-22. Back down the Connacht end. And it takes a while, but finally they do get one. The Lions, 71 minutes. Kewan Horn, nice step, nice offload. Chicken wing stuff. And it's the only conversion that Chris Smith misses, but Van Wyk gets his second try. So 33 points to 7. Certainly game over. But Connacht, to their credit, they throw the kitchen sink at the rest of the kind of 10 minutes they've got available. They have one TMO'd, but a minute later they get one from a nice snipe from Devine as well. He had some kind of good contribution from the bench, and then Paul Boyle got one as the clock was in the red. So 3 tries, which is not enough for a bonus point. It's just enough to have, I don't know, a nicer looking scoreline. Something to be proud of. You know, you finish the game on a high. Going into the final 2 rounds, those points still might, you know, psychologically be important, but any point would have been nice from this game from a Connacht perspective, especially given the chances that they missed. If you're the Lions, you may be a bit disappointed that from 28-0 on 43 minutes, you only managed to rack up 5 more points. Maybe a little bit of taking the foot off the gas. Like, the stereotype would be that the home side at altitude should be really punishing in those final 10, but it's Connacht who scored 2. Possession finishes 69-31 to Connacht, but the territories with the Lions 60-40. Turnovers conceded, Connacht will not be happy. 18 of them. Too much coughed up ball. The Lions were at 10. The clean breaks was 8-3 to the Lions. Defenders beaten 23-17 to the Lions. Offloads 13-9 to the Lions. They had a bunch of sexy attacking stats, which is what they do. The one area they maybe won't be happy with was the discipline. I mean, it's still under 10, but they conceded 9 penalties to Connacht's 4 and copped a yellow card, which in another game, you know, might have been a difference. But fortunately for the Lions, their attack and their defensive shift was able to, you know, to rule the day. Individuals, 2 of those line breaks for the Lions came through Van Wyk, along with his couple of tries. Matthew Devine beat 4 defenders for Connacht. And Sam Gilbert had a bunch of carries, but Indla Bakanye, 16 tackles. Mahasha, 16 tackles. Richard Creel, 18 tackles. There are some big kind of standout performers. But as I said, nothing's guaranteed just yet. The Lions have given them the best opportunity, given themselves the best opportunity to make the playoffs. I think it would take a pretty unusual set of events for them not to make it, but Leinster and Munster away. Tough final 2 rounds. And then Connacht home to Munster and away to Edinburgh. So Connacht, I think, basically need to win the last 2. But yeah, interesting games from, as I said, the sides, which aren't the most kind of lauded of their respective countries, but entertaining one for mine. But it's the Lions who get it done. Subscribe to the channel if you want some more URC chat. I might check out some of the rest of the games as the day goes on for my Sunday here in NZ. But you guys take care, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.